All right, guys. ¿Qué pasó? How's everyone doing? This is Hala Pablo. Thank you for tuning in. Let's look at Bitcoin. Real brief update. Okay, so we have these two fractals. I entitled this "Bulls Standing on Thin Ice," and it looks like the bulls have already fallen through the ice, as we see here. Just now, we're down to 101.5, keeping right in lockstep with the fractal that we had in April of 2022, right? So we're somewhere here underneath the ice. We came under this microtrend support line here. We're not able to enter the structure. You see these two key rejection points right here. This is rejection because it needs to get back up over this microtrend support if it's going to go up and mitigate this prior UTAD that it had. And it didn't do that in 2022, and it looks like it didn't do that this year either. So we had this rejection off the microtrend resistance. Now it's resistance. Before, a week or two ago, it was a support line. Now it's a resistance line, and we've fallen under it, and we've fallen under the 0.5 fib, which is this dotted yellow line. So it looks like we're going back down. And you know, I had made I put out a chart. I posted a chart earlier today where I said that if the bulls didn't hold this line here, this kind of sweet spot in here, this area between the 0.5 Fibonacci and the microtrend resistance, that we were going to go back down and mitigate the selling climax, the SCLX. That's the selling climax. That's the big support line of this redistribution range. I do believe it's a redistribution range. I mean, it's really going to have to, it would be an anomaly for it to suddenly change from redistribution to accumulation. And so I really don't see that happening. The more I look at this, and I'm sorry guys for those who think that I'm negative, but the more I look at this, the more I see distribution. And so I think any kind of analyst who sort of halfway knows what they're doing would concur. So we're seeing predominance of supply in the vertical bar volume. We've got a fractal that is running alongside it. It's almost you can almost superimpose these two upon each other, these 4-year cycles. I mean, that's you know, the writing is on the wall. So of course things can change. This fractal can get invalidated, and it will at some point. Before or after we mitigate the selling climax. And then here again, you see, if we go back off the 2022 fractal range, there was another redistribution that came in right under, like a consolidation range beneath the selling climax here. So not only did it mitigate the selling climax, but it went beneath it and formed a whole new range with its own SC, and then this one also dumped as well. And we know it just kept on going. Now, at some point in this range here, we could see that if this continues to fall, mitigates the selling climax of this year and goes beneath it and reconsolidates, that might be a point of invalidation if we put up another leg. And then this would, whereas this is a redistribution, if this falls down here and consolidates and then begins to retake previous support lines that have turned into resistance, to retake them and flip them to support, then this would be an accumulation. This would switch over to accumulation. And remember that the 400 is running right along this line down here. If we go, we'll see if it turns up on this this chart. So yeah, so that would fall effectively beneath the 400. Actually, this orange line is the 400. And the 200 SMA is way up here, so we are like well beneath. Now remember, this is on the hourly. If we put it on the daily, let's go ahead and put it on the daily here. Make a full screen out of this, and then I'm going to sign out. Yeah, we are right at the. Yeah, so this is what we're looking at. This is not good, guys. This is definitely, I would say, definitely going down to retest. I'm not saying it's going to go and fall beneath the 400, but it's going to retouch this. It's going to mitigate the selling climax, which is essentially the 400, as you can see. And so what we don't want to see, if those fractals are going to continue to validate each other, is something like this, to go beneath and then come back up, and then this 400 becomes a resistance, and we see the expanding spread. This is what happened in 2022, and then it died, and then we had that macro dump, which precipitated the macro bear market. We're not in the bear market yet. We're still within this pocket between the 200 and the 400, but we're getting kind of close. I mean, it's getting to the nitty gritty, right? We're coming back down to the 400, so it just remains to be seen. And then again, if we don't, depending on what happens at that 400, if we don't bust through it, then yeah, we could very well go beneath it, and then we'll have something like what we saw here. Okay. So if we put the so anyway, so this is almost like 4 years ago. So it's the 4-year cycle. All right, guys, that's about it. We'll talk to you soon. I love you guys. For those with ears to hear and hearts to receive, seek the Lord while he may be found. God said, you'll find me if you search for me with all your heart. So search for God with all your heart and be honest with him. And if you're not willing, say, Lord, I'm willing to be made willing. God can work with that, all right? There's no excuse not to be willing to be made willing. Amen? All right, none of what you heard here is financial advice. None of what you've seen here on these charts. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education use only. May God richly bless you. Talk to you guys soon. Adios. Amen.